Hello and welcome to 5-Minute Math. Today we are looking at the Algebra 1 concept of writing quadratic equations. This is standard A.6B in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 25 of the 2023 released STAAR test. If you haven't done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and we will look at our answers together. So we need a quadratic function in vertex form that can be represented by the graph that has a vertex and through the point. And notice our answer selections. That is not our typical quadratic standard form, and they tell us it is in vertex form. So let's open up our reference materials. You see our standard form, look at the bottom of the screen. We're used to f of x equals a squared plus ax squared plus bx plus c. They actually give it to us in that vertex form. So we've got f of x, and then we've got the a, right? So we've got either a 9 or a negative 9. And then we've got x minus h squared, and then a plus k. So that's the form that they give it to us in. Not quite as normally used as that standard form. So what are we supposed to do here? Well, we're supposed to find something that looks like, this, and I'll go ahead and write that f of x, a, x minus h squared plus k. Now, one thing that is not on your reference materials, but you need to know, is that this is called vertex form because your vertex can actually be found if you can get your function to look like this. The vertex of a quadratic function is going to be hk. So your x coordinate is going to be h, your k is going to be your y coordinate. So it's very helpful if you're trying to find the vertex. So what do we know about this form right here? Well, look, they've given us the vertex. Okay, so that's going to be my h, that's going to be my k. And then what do we know about it passes through just a random point? But you know what? If it passes through that point, that could be my x, that could be my y. So take a look. I've got an h, I've got a k, I've got an x, and I'll use this y for my f of x right there. So I've got everything except for the a. I need to solve for that a. So let's substitute in. My f of x is going to be 10 because that's my y coordinate, equals a. My x coordinate is going to be 3, right? Minus, and then what is my h? My h is 1 squared plus 46, right? Because that k is going to be right there. So now I can simplify and solve for a, because that's the only thing I don't need. If I need to figure out whether it's 9 or negative 9, then I can figure out what it is. So let's simplify. I've got a, 3 minus 1, that's going to be 2 squared. So that's going to be 4 plus 46. So let's just call that 4a, right? Because that 2 squared is 4, but it's multiplied by a, plus 46. So, you know what, let me get my a to the right. I'm just going to subtract 46 from both sides. I'm going to get minus 36 equals 4a, right? Now, we need to divide both sides by 4 using the division property of equality. All right, so I'm looking at a equals negative 9. Okay, so once I have that, I really have everything I need. Because they're not asking us to put it in standard form, right? You could FOIL one of these out if you wanted to get it into standard form. Remember that standard form is this. Sometimes it will ask you to change forms, but we're not necessarily doing that with this one. We simply need to write it in our vertex form, and the only thing we were missing was that a, and now we know it's negative 9. So let's write it. So y equals, right? Let's do it up here. Y equals, and then remember, here's my vertex form, my a. Now I know it's negative 9. I'm going to leave my x, because you notice I got my x and my y still in there. So x minus, what is my h, right? My h was going to be that 1 squared plus 46. So my answer here is going to be D.